agents that need to learn how to dial, the first thing I do is I send them Tom's video. He's the best dialer in the company for a reason. So if I wasn't working with Trey and Andrew Taylor, I probably would want to work with Tom. So thank you for everything you do for us. I quickly want to talk today about final expense and why it's such a good thing to do for especially brand new people. When I've been here at Family First Life for a year, but I was here at Family First Life 4 years ago. And what ended up happening was it just didn't work out with the person I was working with, and that's the reason why I decided to come back. But at that time, we didn't have anything called Facebook. We didn't have anything like internet leads. When you got started, you had to drop about $1,000 to $2,000 in direct mail leads, and it would take 2, 3, 4 weeks for your stuff to come back, and then you can go run. You see what I mean? Brand new agents like nowadays, they don't understand that, because you can get contracted today, right? Buy Facebook leads, fill the order within 24 to 48 hours, go run the business 3 days. And that's the beauty of the business, because, besides AIG, we can print paper applications, have them filled out, send it to the insurance company, and get you just-in-time contracted like that. So I love Facebook leads. I love final expense leads, period, because it's the fastest way a brand new agent can get in the field and make money now. Okay, so I love what Jordan talked about, because Jordan is a killer when it comes to mortgage protection, and same thing with Trey. And I run mortgage protection as well. But the tough part is a lot of people that have mortgages work. Like, that's the reason why they have a house, because they work from 9 to 5 usually, right? So you'll probably see them in the later part of the day, 5, 6:30, 8 o'clock, whatever it might be. So you're a full-time agent. What do you do with the rest of your day? For me, I run final expense. That's what I do, right? So from 9 to 5. I fill my day up with seeing senior clients, and I enjoy it. I actually like final expense better than I like mortgage protection, because the clients are more pleasant. That's true. 100%.
I agree.
100%. Being honest with you.
Twice on Sunday.
Yeah. So I'm going to quickly go over how I show up at the house. I usually wear a badge that has a picture of me on it, and it says Family First Life. I knock on the door, and let's just say Mary opens the door, right? I'll say, "Hi, Mary. I'm Steven. I have an appointment with you at 12 o'clock for your funeral and burial expenses. Would you like me to take my shoes off or keep them on?" And right there, she'll say, "Oh, you're good. Keep them on," or would you mind taking them off? Either way, I say, "No problem. I'm Chinese, so I have to take my shoes off anyways because my mom hit me in the back of the head." And we chuckle, ha 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 ha, and we walk in the door. Now, when we walk in the door, the first thing I always look for too is a dining table, because I'm not going to do your presentation on the couch unless that's the only place I have to do it at. Right? If they have a dining table and be like, "Kitchen table's good," okay, perfect. And we walk over there and we're going to sit down. Now, when we sit down, this is a thing that I've learned when I was a kid in psychology. I took psychology in college. I try to sit side by side with clients. So, like, if Luis was at the table with me, he was the client, I'd sit right, he'll sit right there, and I'd sit right here side by side. I try not to sit in front of him. Confrontational, conversational. Does that kind of make sense? Like, if you think about it before, when you're a kid and you're in trouble, because I was in trouble a lot, you're in the principal's office, what's happening? You're sitting across the principal, and they're grilling you the whole time, right? Or your parents, same thing. But if you ever watch, like, basketball coaches, football coaches, when they're trying to instruct a player, they usually have an arm around them, and they're looking forward. See what I mean? Confrontational versus conversational. So I always try to sit side by side with the client, and that's how I start my presentation. I also literally bring out my state license on my folder with my badge, and I say, "I'm Steven E, hopefully." And this is my state license, so I'm licensed to sell you this product in the state of California. Okay? And they always go, "Oh, okay, you're good, don't worry about it." I'm like, "No, Mr. Jones, like, I need to show you this because a lot of people will come into your house and not let you know who they are." For me, that's a danger. So I'm always trying to bring the guards down in a home to make the clients feel comfortable, because if they're comfortable, we're good at it. Right? If you ever have clients that you know you should have sold but you didn't sell, it's because they didn't trust you, and they wouldn't want to give you information. So my job is to try to make the client feel as comfortable as possible, because we're in their home, right? So after that, I usually pull out my financial inventory. I made one for final expense because in the beginning I was getting killed writing the wrong products. So I made a simple final expense product, and I can send this to Dom, and I can send it to you guys too. At the very top, it has 3 questions. This is how I literally open up every single appointment. Very similar to what Jordan was talking about. I say, "Mrs. Jones, you usually fill this out for 1 of 3 reasons." Most people fill this out for 1 of 3 reasons. The very first reason is because you have no burial life insurance program right now. The second reason is you have something in place, you're looking to get more, right? So you might have 5,000, but you know you need 15, so I'm here to cover the difference, right? The third reason is you have everything in place. You're trying to be a good grandparent or a good parent, and you want to leave money behind to your kids and grandkids. Which one are you? And I just shut up. And I've been doing this for a year, and they always give me an answer 1, 2, or 3. They'll never say something like, I'm just trying to get a quote. Because if you ask them a question like, well, why'd you fill this out? That's an open-ended question. They can say whatever they want. See what I mean? And a brand new agent doesn't know how to overcome that. You tell a brand new agent, I'm trying to get a quote, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm literally here just to give you a number from America and I'm gone. Right? Don't step on that landmine. Just ask them a direct question. Well, Mrs. Jones, usually people fill this out for 1 to 3 reasons. Which one are you? Well, I don't have burial coverage, so I'm looking to get some. Perfect. That's the reason why I'm here today. Take care of that. Okay. The next question on there is usually name and age. So I say, all right, Mary, how young are you? Right? Because I'm young and I'm not going to ask them how old they are. So, how young are you? And they're always laughing. Like, oh, I'm 67, but I see what you're doing there. And I'm like, you look good for 67. What's the secret? That's a positive conversation. And I'm not going to lie to them because if they have oxygen on it, I'm not going to say that. But if they look good, I'm going to tell them they look good. And I'm going to put, okay, Mary, 67. Mary, are you currently working or are you retired? I'm retired. Great. What did you used to do for work? Small talk. I don't build a lot of rapport early in my presentation. And the reason why is because in final expense, you got to be very direct. Because if you're not, you're going to be their best friend and you're going to be in that house for like 2.5 hours and you're not going to sell anything. Because it's a lot easier, right? They're laughing because they know it's true. It's a lot easier for them to tell a friend no than actually me to make a decision that's actually smart for them. So I build rapport throughout my presentation, not in the beginning. Like I'm not going to pick something on the wall and talk about it for 20 minutes and then go in my presentation. I kind of like Trey, when I first got started, I rode along with Andrew and it messed me up. Because Andrew Taylor would literally go on an appointment, do it in like 15, 20 minutes, and he's out. And I was just like, whoa, I'm going to be great at this, right? But that's not, granted, you got to have the skill set to be able to do that. But right now with final expense, I would like to say when we literally tell clients on the phone that, hey, it's going to take 15 or 20 minutes, it literally should take you only 15 to 20 minutes to do the entire presentation. And if they want to get started, another 10 minutes for the application, we're gone, right? It's really that simple. So, after I ask them what I do for work, let's just say, I worked at Macy's for like 50 years. Awesome. What did you sell? Shoes. Cool. My mom sells shoes too. Well, let me ask you this question, Mary. Right now, how much money are you receiving in Social Security or a pension or both? And if you are, what are you getting? Oh, I get $11.65 from Social Security. Great. I write that down. I got to know their budget. Very first thing right there. I never used to ask this question, but I ask it a lot now because you got to learn budget. And it messed me up because I had a client in Upland. She was getting $13.50 from Social Security, but her rent was $12.50. So my mind, I'm kind of like, how do you live? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm like groceries. I feel like I would be doing a disservice if I was making her pay something that was out of her budget. Does that kind of make sense? So like, I ask clients, what do you pay for rent, or what are you paying to stay here? Because I want to know. It's simple math. You take what they get from Social Security, subtract that, and you kind of know what their budget is, right? And you can fit something within there that's comfortable for them. So after that, I usually go to if they don't have any insurance, great. That's why I'm here. If they have something, my next question is, what do you have? Go get it for me. And if they say, I don't know where I put it, which is great because they tell you that all the time. I put my head down and go, don't worry, I have like 20 minutes. My next appointment is at like 1, so we're good. And I just shut up. And then guess what they do? They get up, they go find it, and you hear them ruffling around papers, and it's fine. It takes them probably 10 minutes anyways. And usually what I tell people too, I got this from Trey, which is, Mrs. Jones, the difference between working with me and working with somebody else is I work with about 15 to 20 different insurance companies. And the reason why I say that is because I can insure someone that's 80 years old and they're very, very healthy, or I can insure someone that's 50 and has cancer because we have the AIG, right? So I can say, a lot of people, the reason why they don't want you to come to the house is because they got into decline before, they want to get decline again. But when you are a family first life agent, anybody over the age of 50, we can get them some. Right? We can get them some in place. So tell them that, and then I always tell them that your premiums will never go up, unlike those programs from Globe, ARP, all that stuff. When you're 80, nobody's going to cancel your policy, only you can cancel it yourself, right? And the premiums will never go up, the death benefit will never go down. So I put them at ease right then and there again. So after they get their policy, we ask the money question: do you have anything that acts like life insurance? 401ks, 403bs, savings accounts, CDs, money markets, anything? They say no. Great. Next question that I ask is: do you plan on getting buried or cremated? That's a big deal, right? Some people, they're very religious, so they're like, no, I have to be buried. No problem. Better for me, because that just means more premium, right? Some people are like, you know what? I really don't care. They're like, stick me in a box, throw me in the ocean, whatever. Okay, great. We're going to go with cremation, right? So what I asked after is, and this is something that I learned from Trey, and I learned this after, which was qualified discounts. Because everybody loves saving money. Let's just call it what it is. Nobody likes to pay full price. They want to get a discount. So the first question I ask when it comes to qualified discounts is, do you smoke? And if the answer is yes, great. I know I can probably lead with Americo on the quit smoking advantage, right? If they say no, I'm just like, perfect, Mary, you're going to save money just right there alone. The next question that I ask is literally an underwriting question, but I put it in the qualified discounts, which is, Mary, you received $11.50 from Social Security. You receive it in a direct express card? Do you get it direct deposited, or do they send you a check in the mail? And they'll probably, if they say direct express, right then and there, I have to go Transamerica, because America won't take it. And the reason why I put that there is because there's so many times that I never ask that question. I get all the way through. I quote them Americo, right? We do the paperwork. We get to the payment form. We're like, all right, we need a void check. And they're like, I got one.
Right. Take the number on the card.
Yeah, right? So you ask that question early so it saves you time in the back end. And then after that, I'm like, perfect. Whatever answer they give, I'm like, great, because we work with so many companies, I'll get you something. So after that, I ask a series of medical questions that are just basic, that I just want them to get their mind going. Mary, have you ever had a heart attack or a stroke ever? Any heart issues like cardiomyopathy, congestive heart failure, anything like that? No. Okay, great. Any stents put in place? No. Awesome. What about cancer? Right? Diabetes? Do you take pills or insulin? Anything like that? No. Okay. What about pain medication? And I go through a series of questions. Now, if someone always goes no, and they don't look healthy, red flag. Right? So you can say, hey, go do me a favor, go grab your medication. Or if someone's like, I don't have that, but I take this. Those are the easier ones because they'll actually let you know what you're taking. So here's the other thing. The moment you get the medical conditions, I was taught this way. I teach my agents this. There's two things you can do. What we do is before we get in the home, we always text our upline support. For example, in my case, it's Joe and Trey and Andrew, and I'll say, hey, walking into an appointment in 10 minutes. Would you guys be ready if I need help? The reason why is because now if I call them, they know they need to answer the phone because I'm going to ask them something regarding the client, right? So let's say, the client, I'm brand new, so I have no idea what an underwriting guide is, right? And I'm just telling our new agents to, hey, go from the page, literally top down, get the medical information, let us know. I call Trey, I'm like, hey, Trey, this is Steven, I'm sitting down with Mary. She's currently taking simvastatin, losartan, and she's taking metformin. What do you think I should write? Or who do you think would take her? And Trey's going to say, Eagle Premier. Hey, thank you, Trey. I'll talk to you soon. I'll give you a call if I need anything else. Click, and guess where I'm going? America. The beauty of it is when you work in that type of system, you don't have to learn all 15 carriers. You don't need to. You just need to know who to write because you can make a phone call, right? The other thing, too, is I picked this up from Mark Mead. I'll send this to Don and so he can get it out to you guys. I use this underwriting final expense cheat sheet. It looks like this. It's like 10 pages. And what happens is you can go to a condition and it'll tell you which carrier will take it and which won't. So for example, COPD, Eagle Premier won't take it. Living Promise won't take it. Trans, they'll take it as standard. America will take it as UP2. Right? So it's easy. So when someone says, hey, I have COPD, great. I go to COPD and it tells me all the carriers that most of them we work with, and it says blah 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 blah. Now if it says decline all the way, guess who I'm going with? AIG. And the easiest way to sell AIG, and it's actually it's like the easiest way to sell it too. I show my clients, hey, you're gonna get declined with like 14 out of the 15 insurance companies I work with, but I have a company that will take you. Here's the reason why. Then I quote America, show them how expensive guaranteed issue is. I quote Mutual, show them their rated policy, how expensive it is. Same thing with Trans. And then what I do is I go quote them at AIG, and it's always cheaper. And I'm like, I'm literally shopping for you, Mary, so this is the best price you can get. And then we do the AIG application, which is like 2 minutes, right? So that's basically how I do my final expense present experience, kind of like what Dom said. In the process, you're going to be able to learn from the clients. But the other thing, too, is, I'm not very good like Jordan, so I give them 3 options. And I basically say, hey, out of the 3 that I showed you, which one do you like best? And if they pick one, perfect, we're going with that one. Not much more than that, but I will show you a few things in final expense that I call getting extra premium. Because a lot of people just think like, hey, if I get a cremation policy, I only need to get like 3,000 or 5,000, right? You got to paint pictures in your client's head. So I do this. So for example, let's say Mary's the client and her son is John and he lives in Texas, right? So I'm going to sit down with Mary and be like, okay, Mary, if something were to happen to you, I'm assuming John would be the one that's going to be taking care of everything for you, correct? Yes. Well, let me ask you this question. Do you know how expensive it is to fly on standby? She's going to be like, what? Like, so you just passed away. Your son loves you. Now he has to come over. He has to fly from wherever he is to take care of your funeral and burial services. He has to buy an emergency plane ticket. That doesn't cost $100 if you book it out 4 weeks in advance. It's going to cost you $400 or $500 because he has to book it right away. Does that kind of make sense, Mary? She's like, that's right. I'm like, so instead of just writing it the policy for $5,000, we're going to do it for $5,500. Just so that we can cover that plane ticket for your son to get here. Does that kind of make sense? And she's like, it does make sense. That's how we add premium. See that? Now the other thing is, then I take if they get that, I go further. But at the same time, though, Mary, John, I'm assuming is what, he's 35 and he has his own family. He works. He has to take time off of work to come take care of your funeral and burial stuff. He's going to be missing work. He's going to be behind on his bills. He might be behind on his mortgage. Let's do this. Let's put on another $2,000 worth of coverage so that at least he can have his mortgage payments taken care of. So now we go from $5,000 to $5,500, $7,500. Does that kind of make sense? Like that's how I add premium at home. If it makes sense for the client and they can afford it, that's what I do. Because you're just painting a picture for them to be like, well, you're right. I just thought about me. I forgot about my son. Because I wouldn't want them to pay for all this. That's the reason why most of these people fill it out, because they don't want to burden something with that stuff. So with that, I want to talk about leads and agents. My favorite thing, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys go through it, is you show an agent, you give them leads, or they buy leads, they come back and they're like, dude, these leads suck, right? That's my favorite thing to do, because I share this story because recently we have an agent in Florida. They bought 40 Facebook leads, and he was like, I only got into 2. I was like, great, you made all your money back and more, but that's not really good, right? He's like, but I'm trying, dude. I'm calling them every time. I'm blocking my number, doing all this good stuff, but I can't get it. And I'm like, okay, dude, send me your leads. Send me your leads. I'll have either myself or my wife call it just for fun. Out of that 40, my wife books another 5 appointments for him a day. So we're kind of like, dude, it's not the leads. You just got to get better. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the reason why, like I said, I love watching your guys' training because, Dom is so good at that. I remember one of the Facebook Lives, he brought a new agent in here and started dialing side by side with her because she thought the leads weren't very good, right? So it's usually not the leads. It's probably the agent. Talk about that. Okay. Cool. The difference between a top producer and a brand new agent, in my opinion, is overcoming objections in the home. Overcoming, I got to think about it. Overcoming, I don't necessarily need this right now. I can't afford it. All that good stuff. one thing that we used to do a lot, we should get back to doing it, is role playing with our agents on how to overcome objections in the home. Because the difference between me, Jordan, and Trey, and Priscilla, and Dom is they probably know how to overcome objections compared to the person that just got started last week. That's the only difference. We go through the same stuff that you see in your home. It's just that we actually, like what Trey said, is when you say something, we automatically have a rebuttal come back, right? So we got to learn how to overcome objections if you want to be a top producer. This is the other thing. I was running in San Bernardino County where I work. I was running over a lot of clients that have like Dignity Choice Memorial and like funeral homes and memorial homes or mortuaries where they're buying their policies from. So for me, I was kind of like, dude, like, why would they buy from me when they already have something in place? They've had it for like 2 years. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm like talking myself out of the sale, right? So recently, I had a lady in Fontana, which was crazy. We go there. I add $20,000 worth of Mutual of Omaha for her. She's happy. She got taken advantage of by the previous agent. So I said, when the policy comes, do me a favor, call me. I'll come back and I'll review it for you. Go line by line and make sure that you know what you have. Because I don't want you to feel like you got taken advantage of. So she did. I went back on that second appointment and she goes, hey, I wanted to show you I have this and this and this and this and this too. And I was like, wow, right? Here's what pissed me off. Because she bought this policy from Dignity Choice Memorial, whatever it is.
See?
And what happened was, I opened the face sheet, or I opened the policy, and the first thing I see is a table, which basically shows premium. And I was like, wow, that's kind of odd. You pay about $1,000 a year, 10 years. Basic math, that's 10 grand, right? Your death benefit's only 5. Like, why would you buy that? She's like, I didn't know. And then the worst part is you find out who the insurance company is, and it's one of the companies that we work with, which is Assurance. And we're like, we can offer you something better than what you have here, instead of buying it at the funeral home. See, like in the beginning, I got so caught up with, oh, it's a funeral home, it's official, therefore, they're probably doing everything right. And you find out eventually that it's not. You should have them pull it up and actually see it. And which sucks. What sucks was she was 6 years into the policy, so she already paid up her death benefit. If she were to cancel it right now, she would have absolutely nothing. She's in a tough bind, right? So with her, it's tough, but do you really want to replace that, or do you really want to just add more coverage? Which I'm sure you got a $20,000 policy, but I say that because sometimes we get timid, especially in the beginning when I was running final expense my first few months. I would call Andrew and be like, dude, I don't know what to do about these funeral home policies. He's like, dude, replace them. They suck. And I'm like, I don't think they do though. He's like, they suck. Look at them. And when you finally get a chance to look at them, they actually really do. And so you can save your clients money there. Do so. That's about it. That's basically everything that I do in the final expense spectrum. Hopefully, I can verify some stuff for you, but the best thing you can do is get some final expense leads and run them like ASAP, because it's the quickest way for a brand new agent to get paid. So, with that being said, thank you guys. Thank you, Dom, for having me.
Great job. Thank you.
Great job.